All right, everyone. I'm Smooth Ron, the co-host of Man in the Field and the founder of Smooth Views, which is a media component of my business, which is called Smooth Services. And the four main services I offer under Smooth Services is the four M's. So we got media, market, master, and money. And each of those services are used to help businesses get more attention or awareness, customers, employees, and investors. So that's attention, customer, employees, and investors. And that's what we offer at Smooth Services. And then let's go back over here to this YouTube channel here called Man in the Field, which I'm the co-host with my guy Michael Emmanuel. And yeah, this is the first upload that he did to this YouTube channel here, where he did a reaction or a review to Kodak's Black Soul Boy song. And he did really good on that video. I'm gonna come back to that later on. But I'm gonna go over here. And since he did that video, it inspired me to want to do a reaction video to videos talking about the music business. And as you know, Kodak is in the music business. And I just want to do like listen to some videos talking about how money is made in the music business and how the music business operate and generates revenue, and pretty much how to get attention, how to get customers, employees, and investors. And yeah, so the first video I watched earlier today was from Financial Times. So let me go ahead and type in the music business, the music business. And it's interesting to see what comes up when you type in certain words. You just see what pops up first, which is cool. The music business. All right, so let's go ahead and tap on that. Boom. We ain't here. Oh, look at the first video that pops up. That's interesting. So all you need to know about the music business with Don Passman. Passman. And then we got one right there. That's on those says MUDBUTV. Was that Mud Mub Mub TV? And then let's see, we got Yo Gotti, Blueprint for Success, the music business on Forbes. Got 251,000 views 1 year ago. And then the other one above it got 59,000 views 2 years ago. So let's kind of like scroll through and see, what's going on when you type in the music business. I remember seeing clips of this one here with Pharrell Williams and Steve Scout on thriving in the music business and Black Ambitions. Okay, interesting. And then we got this here by Music Money Makeover Show. I checked out some of his content before. And he's speaking on the 7 facts you must know about the music industry. And then we got Joe Button Expose the music industry and labels. All of them are broke. And then how music business actually works. And then these videos actually get some good views. Look, they all over, 6 digits or six figures, 6 digits. And again, over 100-something thousand views, over hundreds of thousands of views. And then we got musicians. We got this Bill Corrigan, breakdown music industry, Joe Rogan. So yeah, first few videos, we got some shorts here talking about the music business and things like that. Got your boy Tory Lanez, Pharrell Williams, the Brad guy, Jay-Z, no, Kanye or Ye, and then what was that, Quavo or Offset? It's Offset, all right. Oh, so this is the video I watched earlier today, the Financial Times breakdown. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch some of this here, and then I'm gonna check out some other ones. But yeah, start with this one. Let's see. Actually, let me double check. Yo Gotti Blueprint. All you need to know. Okay, yeah. Let's actually start with the Financial Times one. That one's pretty good. And let me just double check something here. Okay. All right. So Financial Times, which is a good, media outlet platform. That's phenomenal. And this title, how record deals work and making money in the music industry, FT Film. So 473,000 views 4 years ago, Financial Times. How many streams does it take to make money? Minimum wage streaming platforms like Spotify now dominate. So let's go ahead and tap on this. The artist. Pause it real quick. Bring it back to the beginning. And just before we watch through the video, I give my thoughts and my review, my reaction on the content here. Let's go ahead and look through some of the numbers and some of the comments and things like that. Just give me one moment here. I got a call here from my guy, Michael, that's the co-host of this here. Hey. Yeah, yeah, I was just trying to get into the YouTube channel, but I got in, so I appreciate that. And then right now, I'm actually recording a video right now that yeah. So I'm gonna give you a call after this. All right? Okay. All right. And then let me actually put my phone on charge. I'm at 59%. I still got my iPhone 12 Pro Max. And I still got the little, lightning thing here, So it is what it is. Put down the charger, put that to the side. So let's go ahead and look at some of the numbers here. We got Financial Times, 1.22 million subscribers, clutch. And then I'm actually subscribed to them. 12,000 likes, phenomenal. 473,000 views 4 years ago. They got their description here. How many streams does it take to make minimum wage, which is interesting how they break that down in the video. We're going to see that coming up soon. Streaming platforms like Spotify now dominate music business. Social media apps like TikTok definitely dominate. And I'm just serious, man. You get the right person to dance to your song, it's going to take off for real. And let's see, and Instagram are changing the playing field. That's true. And some artists are moving away from traditional record deals and revenue sources in favor of independence. The FT Don Newkirk Jr. asked some of the world's biggest music companies, record labels, and producers how they are adapting to the fast-changing industry. And he follows an up-and-coming hip-hop artist struggling to make his fair share just as the coronavirus pandemic hits. So yeah, Matt, see, this video is from 4 years ago, 2021, so April 14, 2021. So, that was just a little bit after 2020 when it really hit, so interesting. Music soundtrack by Dirty Blondie, got him tagged up in there, which is cool, that's awesome. I got the cool hashtags, record label, record deals, Financial Times. Gotta have the proper hashtags up in there. So see if you get an FT for free as a student, and then trying to sell the subscriptions here for Financial Times. Awesome. Check out Community tab for more stories and economy, and then listen to the podcast. Phenomenal. Check out the Instagram. They got the key moments in here. Put the cool titles for each key moment, transcript. All right, so let's keep going down a little bit. It got 526 comments. It's good. That's phenomenal. And then let's see. So someone here, this one is pinned by Financial Times. Maybe tomorrow. Little, I don't know, that's an interesting name, but yeah. So let's say, how much did Dirty Blonde make from the virtual concert minus borrowed expenses, that production costs, dollar bills, his $300 in play revenue hardly covered the cost of his costume, let alone the lights and equipment that the paid musicians on stage with him, the producers and the stage hands, engineering, you can't see, no disrespect, Dirty Blonde. I hope you get full return on your investment and more, but I really like to know how much you profited from the virtual show. Tap on read more. Virtual contents will make big name brand artists money, but how many Fortnite kids are going to leave battle match to watch an unknown artist? Like how you said Fortnite kids, that's pretty funny. Cause a lot of kids play Fortnite. The other day I went over to my sister's house and see my nephew Aiden playing Fortnite, which he got a YouTube channel, which I gotta get his showing up here so I can see what he got going on. But let me see. Let me see if I can find his channel right quick. I might be following it on here somewhere. Nephew Aiden, am I following it on this channel? I may have to follow him on this channel too. I barely be on this channel though. But my nephew does have a channel. I can see if I can find there. Go ahead, go Aiden right here. So Aiden, this is his channel. My nephew Aiden, he got some views, got a good amount. He got a lot of shorts. He's mainly for the shorts guy. So he got a lot of short videos, decent amount of views. He doing all right. 15 subscribers, 48 videos. We got a little bit of longer videos. That's playlists. We got on here playlists, post. We got some posts. So yeah, got the cool posts here. And say hi, all of you all. My nephew, cool little dude. But yeah, definitely go check him out. Subscribe to my nephew here. And then let me go back a little bit here. Let's see. Okay, that's my channel. Let's go back to smooth views. Okay. So let's see. This is what we got here. So yeah, I'm reading through this comment. Fortnite kids. Oh yeah, then I remember when they had what's his name? Travis Scott. He's had a cool setup on Fortnite where he's like a big character on the game and in the waiting lobby thing, you can see him moving around and rapping the music and stuff with Astro World and all that. It's phenomenal. And then who else did it? There was a few other people, like Billie Eilish, I think, and Taylor Swift maybe. But there's a few artists that was able to like have their musical performance and like a virtual version of them in Fortnite and things like that. So that's pretty awesome, amazing. And then so yeah, he is right about the big name artists doing that. And then it says, um, so yeah, so he said, let's see, love music. I know you do it for the love of music, but nice to know if your knowledge is sake. How much did you profit? How many kids chase a valuable dream that returns no value except an illusion of wealth to your peers? Honesty, was it depresses me that it's a facade. Dirty Blonde, I hope you become a brand. May you be magnetic to the money at the top. Peace. Ah, interesting. And they got some replies here. Bro, just need to get a CDL. Wish you used questions marks. Bro, I don't know about them songs though. He just ain't as good as he think. Damn, that's crazy. Let me explain. An artist will never solely profit from event attendance, monthly listeners, direct direct consumers. Obviously, you don't know what the what the F you're talking about. Russell is showing people how it's done, and he didn't explain it the way you just did. He's not even signed. Yeah, LaRussell, yeah, it's interesting. LaRussell a beast, man. I definitely like what he got going on with his overall brand at Good Company, and then him being an artist, and he put on many other artists, and he actually put on the artist from Rochester. Yeah, I'm based in Rochester, New York. Um, between Buffalo and Syracuse, not too far from Canada, Toronto, near Lake Ontario area. And they put on one of the local Rochester artists to perform up there, and her name was Rissa the I think called Rissa the writer or Rissa the singer or rapper or something like that. But yeah, Rissa, she fire. She based in Rochester and she performed in the backyard at LaRussell's backyard events. So it's phenomenal. That's awesome. And she made a song with him and all that. That's amazing. And then another local artist made some songs with him too. A guy, Magic Gretzky, he made a song with him as well. phenomenal. I went to his listening party one time over there on State Street, and like a wine and liquor spot, State Street. It was a phenomenal event. A lot of people showed up. I got a lot of footage from that as well that I got to upload to my Smooth Views channel. But and then music business, people don't talk about. Don't limit yourself to just being an artist. Yeah, I remember reading this comment. This was really good. Songwriting production has unlimited earning potential depending on how your business model is set up. And then let me see how much time I've been recording so far. Is it going to show up? Let's see. No, it don't show up here. Okay. Thought it would show up. I don't know how would I see the recording time, but I'm recording. It is what it is. But let's see. Industry stopped trying to find talented acts and started forcing on finding vulnerable vulnerable artists there. Let's see. Doing artist songwriting and production. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell my guy Jiggy, man. I was telling someone the other day, like Jiggy the Rebel, which is right here. I'll be uploading to his channel as well. Yeah, so this Jiggy right here, he got some heat, some good music. Definitely go check him out. Jiggy the Rebel, phenomenal artist, lyrical artist, classic vibes, hip hop vibe. Must check him out. He got some heat, and I upload a lot of videos to his channel. And you see, he got 108 videos, 770 subscribers, and he's got a decent amount of views on some of his older videos from back in the days. But he definitely gonna go big, man. He just gotta get the right exposure, and I'm gonna see what I could do to help with that, you know. Um, all right, and then let's see. Let me finish reading this one comment here, and then we go watch the video. Depending on how your business model is set up, mixing and mastering engineering is very profitable since everyone needs a great quality mix. And also, just owning a recording studio is profitable as well because everyone wants to be a star. So that is true. If you want to make a long living in the game, you got to expand your skill set. Facts, facts. Because just being an artist isn't going to cut it anymore. Everyone wants to in in the spotlight. So you put in the spotlight, the spot. Working behind the scenes will make you more profits than being up front. That's true. It's true. And then there's a lot of decent replies to that as well. I love songwriting ghostwriting because I have a ton of experience, but I have no idea how to start search for potential clients. So yeah, interesting. And then there's someone said you almost hustle and it says drugs, rich people, industry, artists. Oh wow, that's interesting. Famous rapper transform producer later. Okay, really cool reply. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the video. It's a 25-minute video, which is pretty decent. So let's go ahead and play that thing.
This film is about the evolution of the music business. The industry has gone digital, with streaming now reigning supreme.
Serious.
Social media apps can
Digital
seemingly
time.
blow up a song overnight. And with the COVID-19 pandemic shutting down live music venues worldwide, concerts have even gone virtual. The music industry revenues reached an all-time high in 2020. So who's cashing out? Record labels or the artists?
Definitely the label still. Eventually, and some artists are.
But filming Financial Times. I also manage and direct music videos with my cousin, the artist Dirty Blonde. Since 2018, I've been documenting his journey to make a name for himself and earn a living as an artist in the music industry. Along that journey, I traveled.
See, that's what I started doing with my guy Jiggy. I gotta get back doing that with him. But yeah, we was definitely documenting his journey. You know, him pulling up to studios and performances and just vibing out through the day and his lifestyle and stuff. So I'm gonna get back with him on that. And I like what this guy does. You know, he works at Financial Time, and then he does some work with his family and work with one artist mainly, and that's phenomenal. And this was 4 years ago, so imagine what he's doing now with it. I'm gonna look up Dirty Blonde and see what he got going on too.
Countries, talking to some of the world's biggest music companies, record labels, producers, and artists to find out what all these changes mean for the future of the music business and how today's artists are making it and making money.
Industry treats artists too much like a commodity and not as a person. artists are starting to understand what rights they want to retain.
The whole world wants to be in the music industry now. You can be almost homeless to going to making just so much money you can't even keep up with.
Shit, everybody should be making money.
Kevin Lyles. Damn, why he look like one of the Run DMC guys? Got that dude name.
Jerry Brown. I'm a recording artist and record producer. I'm from upstate New York. I've been trying to make it in the industry for about 2 years now.
When you say upstate New York, it made me think if he's from like Rochester, Buffalo, or Syracuse or something like that. I'm gonna find out though. See where he located. Be interesting to know. Let's see.
I think my music is so personal and so genuine and pure that I think that my music really speaks to the people. It's about love, it's about heartbreak, it's about soul, it's about real life. I think that a lot of people can identify with that and understand me, and I think it would just be so pure and genuine, and people will automatically just cling to it and want to hear more and like me and understand me. That's what I'm praying for. And for me, it's if I can pay my bills and I'm all right at the end of the day.
See that right there. See, make heartfelt music, and then get other people to connect with it. And then he said if he could, use his music to pay his bills, he said that's a good level of success for him.
Then to me, I've successfully made it.
Yeah.
Most artists, getting a record deal has been a clear sign that you've officially made it. So you might be surprised to hear from major artists themselves that making it hasn't always meant making money. TLC won 2 Grammy Awards in 1996. They were the world's biggest selling female music group, but they were also broke.
We are the biggest selling female group ever. 10 million albums worldwide. We have worked very hard. We have been in this business for 5 years, and we are broke as broke to be.
Dang, crazy. I remember seeing that clip back then. That ain't serious. And the fits they had on was fire though. Damn. Yeah, they was definitely doing their thing back then. It was a fire group, man.
Were incredibly and still are incredibly complex. A lot of times those deals will be not in the artist's favor because of the way that they're structured. They were quite simply old school record deals were simply bank loans at the highest rate imaginable.
Traditionally, an advance was only recoupable from an artist's share of the music sales. But as record labels began to lose revenue from declining physical album sales and online piracy, they began offering artists 360 deals. A 360 deal allows the label to recoup that advance from the artist not only from music sales and streaming revenue, but also from all other streams of income for the artist, including touring.
See how she said it was like pretty much a bank loan at the highest interest rate possible. Whew, that is wild. That's something serious right there. That's crazy. Yeah, pretty much definitely a bank loan. And then these 360 deals, they was trying to recruit that money by any means possible. So they want that money from every source you could generate money from your merch, your performances. Man, they're selling books and being in movies, being in episodes. They try to get that money back by any means possible. For real. AMP style. Shout out to AMP. Yeah.
Revenue, merch, think licensing, publishing, and endorsements.
It's essentially like
endorsements.
Where 9 times out of 10, the artist will remain in debt to the record label for the initial upfront advance that the record label paid them and they never paid off. And they remain tied to that record label with relatively small degree of control over their commercial approach and marketing approach and no ownership of the copyright.
So if a record label gives you a $1 million deal, what does that actually mean? It's really an advance on future royalties, meaning it must be paid back to the label from revenue you earn after you make the music. So let's say you've negotiated an 80-20 split on the royalties. That means your music would need to generate $5 million in revenue in order to fully recoup the $1 million advance owed back to the record label. Then you can start collecting your 20% share of the revenue. Now, every deal is different,
Oof.
but you're probably signing away ownership of your copyright or
Yep.
master recordings to the label. Typically, that $1 million advance is often used by artists to budget for things like studio time, album features,
Yep.
music videos, marketing, lawyer and manager fees, and their everyday living expenses. From Prince to Kanye and Taylor Swift, many artists have tried to fight back against their record contracts, particularly if they've signed away ownership of their masters. The
Yep.
labels say they're taking a big gamble when they
Yeah.
invest in an artist.
You
Big
made a
gamble
dollar,
for real.
but you spent $2 to make that dollar. So you owe somebody a dollar. So you might make the decision, I want to fly
Yep.
first class. Hey, I want to shoot a $50,000 video instead of $25,000 or a $200,000 video instead of a $50,000 video.
Mm.
These are all choices that are made constantly. And it's you got to look at the business model and see what works.
I think
Mm.
the fact that record labels are getting the bulk
Billboard.
of the revenue reflects the fact that they're actually making a big investment upfront in artists' careers, and essentially they're taking on most of the risk.
If you were to go to a bank
Yeah.
and you never had a job before, and you tried to get a loan, and so I'm co-signing for a loan, number one, and number two, I'm also a strategic partner to help you scale your business. If you and I walk into a room, you'll get more walking into a room with me than without me.
Oh, big,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't gotta say shit. You gon' see me everywhere that you go.
Summer
Oh,
2019.
It's crazy. They see me, they don't say shit. Soon they gon' be pulling up the sold out shows. Oh, Billboard chasing.
After a number of successful releases on streaming platforms in
Billboard
2019,
chasing.
Dirty Blonde attended his first A&R meeting at record label 300 Entertainment.
Hey, Roger Louis B on my back. Hey, decent lyrics.
I was really
The J's.
him, feeling him, listening
Yeah.
to him, seeing how much he loved his own music. Since I started, I've been doing a lot of emo, like emotional trap music, and I kind of got tired of it because I feel like a lot of people do.
Nah, them J's is fire. Woo. I like that classic speaker back there. Got the jersey up there. Like a J nice. Like a Minnesota Timberwolves type jersey. Let's see.
Doing it, so I kind of switched it up, and I got inspired by Michael, Rick James, Marvin Gaye, and I plugged around some disco. So his next song is called 80s Baby.
80s baby. Right here. Why she back there looking at her phone like that? She's not even like entertained. That's a violation.
Between baggy jeans and 80s baby is
And
so dramatic for me, just like universe wise, that it's a little jarring. And I feel like, especially in the like come up portion, it's important to just be like fucking hyper focused on exactly who and what you are. And you might be both, but doing both when people aren't aware of you and bought into you makes it difficult to keep both like locked. You want to have one locked so that when you do grow, you have a place to grow, because the 80s baby stuff is obviously bigger, like world wise.
The power of social media, along with the meteoric rise of music,
Interesting.
has given artists more leverage and
Breakdown.
more options in the deals they sign. They can remain fully independent, they can sign a traditional deal, or they can partner with a label or distribution company, offering label services in exchange for a portion of the
Look at that.
profits, while retaining ownership of their masters. In February 2020, I traveled to Vancouver, Canada,
Yeah.
with Shane Gill,
I got
head of
visit
Opposition
Vancouver.
Records, about these types of deals.
Today, an artist doesn't really need a huge budget or advance to actually make the music. So
True.
it's just a bit unfair for a label to come in and take ownership of that music. We let the artist control and own their art. Some artists, we just work
like
with
that.
them on a specific area. So like 21 Savage, for example, we just work on building his YouTube channel. But
Now that's fire. I like that. He said, artists nowadays don't need such a huge budget right away. They just need, you know, some money for some studio time. So that's understandable. And then he mentioned he's just working with 21 Savage to do this YouTube channel. I'm like, yo, that's fire. And like that's something that I've been you know, been doing a little bit. I gotta get more back into, but you know, I was uploading to Jiggy channel, uploading to What Is Bootleg channel now with my guy Najee. We got the What Is Bootleg content flowing up. But yeah, and then I was gonna start just managing a whole bunch of everybody else's channels and provide that service under the media component of going back to my business Smooth Services. So it's like, you know, the parent company is Smooth X, and then we got Smooth Goods, which would be like the tangible products or digital products as well. And then you got Smooth Services, which are like, you know, service-based products and stuff like that, or think business, right? So within the 4M's, the media, market, master, and money. The M part is the media part, which includes recording, editing, uploading, and advertising. So I like this part here, what this guy doing over here in Vancouver with the artists and stuff, offering a variety of services like that. Phenomenal.
other artists were much more deeper and working with them on a full like label deal or distribution deal where we handle every aspect of their streaming and marketing.
One of opposition's high-profile signings is the super producer Zaytoven.
Zaytoven,
Godfather of trap music.
Trap
We caught up with him in
music.
LA, holding his new single,
Gucci.
Lil Keith and Lil Yachty,
Or
ahead of his concert.
yeah, I think it's Gucci.
Wow.
If you're working with a label, it just makes everything that much bigger. You know what I mean? It can blow you up that much more.
Yeah, he did make a lot of classic trap beats with Gucci, I believe. I believe it was Gucci. And yeah, he made some heat with him and a bunch of other artists. And then I remember seeing him on what's his name? Damn, the funny comedian Wayne. Yeah, but Wayne on Country Wayne, yeah, Country Wayne on Facebook and like stuff. Country Wayne series where he make episodes of, you know, content and stuff. And he was playing one of his characters called Drop or Drip or something like that. And then Zaytoven was in a few of the episodes of Country Wayne, which was pretty cool. I like to see that. That was awesome.
As an artist, I feel like I would need a label to make sure the marketing is a certain place, you know, at a certain plateau where it's like, okay, they're going to blow me up bigger than what I am. I know where I need help. I know areas like I need help in. So right now they just, you know, they treat me like a young artist and put me in front of the right people and, you know, things of that nature. So it helped me stay young.
We usually just do, you know, a multi-year license where we'll have rights to the track while we're marketing it, and then the ownership goes back to the artist. And the majority of the revenue share will be going to the artists in every deal we do.
When you create a song
Rolling
that you know
Loud.
that somebody's single, like I did with Too
Then
Much Song,
stage.
or that's gonna be Lil Uzi or Future single. It's not about the upfront money for me because I know it's gonna spin on the radio so much that when my BMI checks come, it's
BMI.
gonna be, you know, 100,000, 200,000.
Damn.
BMI is a performing rights organization.
Hey, One World Trade Center.
PROs collect and distribute publishing
NYC.
royalties to songwriters and copyright owners for the public performances of their songs. So when a song is played on a radio, on Pandora, or in a public venue like a restaurant or nightclub, a royalty must be paid. This can provide a continuous stream of income to the artist.
Residual income, passive.
Long after the artist has stopped making music.
Oftentimes, the
Royalty.
first meeting a songwriter might ever have when they decide to become a songwriter and actually have a career in songwriting is their meeting with BMI. BMI is the largest performing rights organization in the world. And we act as the connector, the bridge between creators of music and the businesses that use their music. There is typically an agreement among the songwriters as to what the splits will be. We don't really do anything other than take that information into our systems so we can process the proper royalties on the back end. We announced last year that we generated $1.3 billion in revenue. Streaming
Yeah,
services are
that's
just
serious.
another one of those additional services, additional media that we have really
That's
been
right.
incredibly focused on, and it's changed the music industry completely.
Well, the COVID-19 pandemic
Yep.
has wreaked havoc on several industries worldwide. In the US, music industry revenues reached an all-time high of $12.2 billion.
Wow, look at this breakdown right
up
here.
9.2% from 2019, with an overwhelming 83% of that revenue coming from streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and more. There are now more than 50 million tracks available on Spotify alone, and over 40,000 new tracks being uploaded daily. So what does this massive increase in streaming mean for artists, and how are they capitalizing?
The industry is growing very, very fast. You think about streaming revenue, it's growing at about 30% a year. If you're an emerging artist who doesn't have an established fan base or a name that's trying to break into the business, you can come onto the platform through distributors even without a record label deal. It's a lot of opportunity, but you got to fight for your share.
We have a new music submission tool that we rolled out, which is open to major labels, much like independent artists, where everyone submits their songs that they want to put up for playlisting. You can access it through Spotify for Artists. When we do our job right, we put the right song in front of the right people, and it just takes off.
My newest single TikTok was put on Fresh Finds Spotify editorial playlist and also Fresh Finds Hip Hop. It not only helped the song that was on the playlist, it also made my other songs go up a lot too, and new people find who you are and follow you as a.
I like how you said that right there, where like you could put one song, get on a certain playlist, multiple playlists, and then it could trickle out to all your other songs and your whole album and your, all your other songs. Like that's cool when that type of ripple effect happens from one song and then it diverse into all your other songs. Phenomenal. I like that a lot.
As an artist on Instagram, Twitter, whatever,
Artists were based on the number of streams. So to the extent that the playlist boosts the amount of streams that an artist gets, it's good for them from a revenue perspective as well.
So this clip right here, we see this hoodie he got on. That's from Barriers Worldwide, a Black-owned clothing brand. I met him before in NYC at one of his pop-up shops. I'm supposed to stay connected with him, but I didn't end up staying connected. But I'm trying to reconnect with him so I could be his media person, where I could do the recording and editing, uploading, advertising, and much more for him. And managing his YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and all the media outlets, and get him on all the other big ones, like get him on Financial Times and Forbes and all the music media outlets as well. So I'd like to get him all of that stuff, and because a lot of people wear his hoodies, and that's the Fred Hampton hoodie right there, the yellow Fred Hampton hoodie. I might have that, I'm not sure, but I know I got a bunch of items from him. Phenomenal products, awesome, man. Definitely check out Barriers Worldwide. And I'm not sure his hat say something on there too. What hat is that? Is that a Barriers?
Artists were revenue based on the number of streams. So to the extent that a playlist boosts the amount of streams that an artist gets, it's good for them from a revenue perspective as well.
I'm Mitch Glazier. I'm the chairman and CEO of the Recording Industry Association of America, the
Mitch
RIAA.
Glazier.
We collect revenue numbers directly from all of the record companies. So to reach gold, an artist needs to achieve 500,000 sales and streams
Fire
based
album.
on revenue. So it's a
JEA.
revenue-based system, not just a number of streams-based system. And then for platinum, it's 1 million. And then multi-platinum up to 10 million, which is diamond. It's very, very difficult to make it. But once you get a gold record, if you're an artist and you get a gold record, you never forget that day. That's the day when you're on the path to succeeding as an artist.
That's something serious right there. I like that.
So how much
Yeah,
is
the
their
numbers.
stream? According to his revenue statement,
YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud.
He got around 27,000 streams on Spotify, and he got paid just under $72 for those streams. Doing the math,
Damn, look
that's
at that breakdown.
7 cents per stream. On the TikTok app, he earned slightly more money from slightly fewer.
Amazon, iTunes,
Apple Music paid him just under 0.5 cent per stream. At this rate, for Dirty Blonde to earn New York State's minimum wage of $15 per hour, or $31,200 for the year, he would need to get over
look at that
13 million
breakdown.
streams across the various streaming platforms.
You see that number? Yeah, that ain't serious. Mm-mm-mm. Look at that breakdown right there. Just to make that much a year, that many streams you need combined across various music streaming platforms. Wow, that's serious.
Platforms and social media apps.
I understand how it works. I understand that I'm not going to be making money like that off streaming right now as a small artist. But on the other side, I think that music is so precious and so valuable. Like 0.003 cents. Like I think that is like a disgusting number. But at the same time, like I said, there's so many artists where it has to be that low.
So a lot of people are kind of curious how you split the money that's made in this industry. The way you do it, you can think of a giant swimming pool, right? There's basically a percentage of the money that's always going to the streaming services, a percentage that's going to the songwriters that the publishers represent, and a percentage that goes to the labels that represent the artists. The more water there is in the pool,
publishers and the labels
percentages
and the streaming platforms.
To make a living as an artist, that's just the reality. You know, streaming doesn't pay a whole lot. Once you realize how much you're getting per stream, and you realize, okay, this may not be.
I should have been taking notes while watching this on my phone.
Got to figure out where to take this.
With streaming, you start to get lots of rich data. Tools like Spotify for artists is the mechanism that we share the data with the artists.
I remember Jiggy showing me this.
What's the value of being on a streaming service? In part, it's the direct economics that you earn as an artist. A lot of it is also about getting your name out there, becoming aware, and being able to drive kind of the fans to your events.
One of my favorites.
Drive merchandising and endorsements and all the things that are part of becoming a real successful artist.
Endorsements where it's at for real. Sponsorships, endorsements, all them brand deal type stuff.
Dirty Blonde performed his first ticketed show on stage at SOBs.
Remember
a legendary New York
SOBs?
City concert venue, often considered
Classic.
a rite of passage for emerging artists.
My first show to be at SOBs, like it's crazy to me, but I'm excited. Like I'm ready. I'm nervous at all. You know what I'm saying? I was made for this.
Made for this. No nervousness. Be on it. Beast mode. Hey. Hey. Okay. Kind of hit.
For many artists, live shows have been a vital source of income in their careers. It means not only revenue from ticket sales, but also a way to fan base. To find out more, we travel to Los Angeles to speak with.
Hey man, live shows, man. Spots like SOBs, and then tickets, selling tickets, merch, and get people to stream your music and being on the radio and television, on commercials and TV shows and movies and all that. Like just having it everywhere, your songs everywhere, man. It's phenomenal. Syndication deals, all that. Beast mode, man. Live performances, being on video games, all that, man. It's amazing. I'm telling you, man, that's the way to go. But ticket sales, yeah, me and my guy Christian, man, we looking to do Christian and Najee and Jaquan. We're looking to put together a whole like DJ, party sessions and stuff like that. And we're gonna sell ticket events for live online and offline.
Tarek Sharif, co-founder of Rolling Loud, the largest hip hop music
Co-founder of Rolling Loud. Something serious. They do
kind of help artists launch their careers before you're even able to tour. We give you an opportunity. You might be good for like 1,000 tickets in the market, like Miami or LA or wherever we're doing the show, but all of a sudden you're performing in front of 60,000 or however many people are there. That's a huge boost, The majority of artists, period, are signed to standard recording contracts where they go from making 100% of their music to making 18% of their music, and that stands behind recoupment. And they're basically not making money off music. They get an advance. Some artists that are savvy with their advance and make it stretch. Other artists blow it. And then you find yourself in a situation that you're standing behind your recoup, so you're not able to make money on your music. So touring becomes big.
Damn.
you could benefit from performing in front of 80,000 people. It's a nice check, and it's growing your fan base for you to then be able to return to that market after your next album, after the festival, and tour it on a hard ticket show, maybe multiple hard ticket shows, depending on your size, and build your career.
Damn. Provide that
Not
type
long
of
after this
platform.
interview, the world was hit with the coronavirus pandemic, and the music industry was not immune. COVID-19 stopped touring, shows, and festivals completely. So how have artists survived?
Constantly creating
Hey, live events.
is potentially a way to try to continue to drive interest and awareness that ultimately leads to the other.
Yeah, she mentioned constantly creating content. Constant content. That's what it's about. That's what we're gonna be on over here at Man in the Field, making that constant content, at that content flowing in. So content to cash flow. That's what it is, you know? That's for real, man. And then I was listening to David Shan's Social Proof podcast. He had a guest on there, and she was talking about her brand name is crafts to cash. And then we could use a tagline called content to cash flow. Content cash flow. Content to cash flow. So yeah, I'm with that, man. Let's get it, man. And then just, be at it. And then bringing more awareness to everything.
Things that drive revenue.
If you look to the east, if you look to, say, streaming music services in China, they monetize fandom. The majority of the revenue are not coming from the actual music subscription, but they're coming from things like live streaming.
Before COVID happened, I was
music subscription.
Because the virus hit, it got shut down. So
subscriptions
now I'm doing a virtual live performance with eMusic Live. It's just a new way of
eMusic Live
of entertainment. It's a new way of revenue too, as an artist. I think it's very important.
November 1st, 2020.
For artists to get into this. Something that will not only be important right now, but also when things get back to normal, or whatever normal is, I think virtual performance will still thrive and still be a thing.
Married to the money and I pray we never part. When you get money, notice how you start to talk. Pray I'm never lonely and I pray I hit the top.
With the majority of artists being unable to perform live, the pandemic has focused minds on streaming revenue and whether artists are getting their fair share. It also comes at a time when more and more artists are choosing to go independent. In fact, independent artists represent the fastest growing sector in the global recorded music industry.
That's
artists
interesting.
Grew by over 34% during the pandemic,
independent,
to bring in $1.2 billion in revenue, growing their market share by over a point to 5.1%.
J. Cole.
So, are artists better off remaining independent, signing a record deal, or something in between?
What's the right choice for an artist?
Between.
For the artist to decide, right? I think today artists probably have more choices, and so it's hard. Whereas in the past, it was simple. You really had one path, which was through a major record label.
Now I believe that artists,
multiple paths now.
Whatever deal is best for them. Some
right.
artists don't need a lot of money. They need guidance.
Because the labels
That's
are
true.
so flush with cash right now from streaming, as they compete with each other for talent, they're also driving up the price of finding talent. All that means that artists are really in a better position to negotiate contracts, and they can now command bigger advances, better terms, like higher royalty rates, or even ownership of their masters. So the label is just acting as a distributor.
Songwriters and composers aren't simply reliant on one source of revenue in a way that they had been in the past, or even just a few.
How do you think about creating content that you can monetize? Sure, you can monetize YouTube, but you can also monetize Twitch.
Yeah.
Why are you not going on Twitch?
Yeah.
How to engage.
Yeah, use every platform possible.
There's never been a better time to be recording.
Not just gamers. Tyson snap on that thing. So crew.
More control over your career, more access to your fans.
Control is key.
Song breaks on TikTok, and literally within days, it's in the top of the charts, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all the other services, right? So there's revenue to be made on TikTok, but I think the kind of dual prong here is if you can blow up on TikTok, you're going to end up blowing up on all these other platforms as well.
Right. For independents to think about their music as a way to, connect many other.
TikTok something serious.
It takes a lot of things aligning in the right way, and it's a lot of hard work and
alignment, hard work.
I genuinely believe that being an artist is the hardest job in the world. You put yourself out there over and over again, and a lot of things have to go right.
Yeah, I gotta reconnect with a bunch of artists
and a lot of people have to
I did videos with on Smooth Views.
5 years.
She got Jiggy, Reek.
Coronavirus-driven recession will have some negative impact. Live is going to be in difficulty, but there is going to be huge change and innovation that's going to happen in terms of business models, in terms of what music companies look like, in terms of how artists make their careers. And what we may do looking back 5 years from now is say that actually the coronavirus period acted as a change agent. It was a catalyst for developments which had already started to really start to accelerate. And maybe the one meta trend out of all of it is that artists will come out of it on top.
One thing's for certain, today's artists need to be business savvy. That means not just making music, but also handling doing marketing and promotion and capitalizing on multiple revenue streams.
Fred Hampton, Black Panther.
It's about business too. As an artist, you are the business. Like JC said, I'm not
a businessman. I'm a businessman.
There's different ways to make money.
Man, I love that saying by Jay-Z. Usually when I wear my GoPro on me, I'm using it right now for my webcam, but usually when I wear my GoPro on me, I tell people I'm not just a cameraman, I'm a cameraman. So I use that same type of phrasing and wording what Jay-Z does, so that's cool. I like that he used that in this video. Yeah.
It's about the hustle.
As for Dirty Blonde,
definitely want to do some videos with him as well.
Not a traditional record, but a distribution deal with EQ Distro, an independent music distribution company under the Rock Nation umbrella.
Rock Nation.
And while there's no big upfront advance involved, he does get to keep.
Yeah, Rock Nation, I heard they invest in a lot of black media companies as well, or work with them and do stuff with them. Because Blavity is owned by a black woman, and she has a few brands underneath Blavity and Afrotech and things like that. And I was listening to her on David Shan's Social Proof podcast or broadcast episodes. And yeah, she's talking how when she started this stuff, she ended up, buying a company and then, getting working with Live Rock Nation. And then she wanted Jay-Z to come to one of her Blavity events or Afrotech events, and he mentioned in one of his songs. And when he mentioned his song, she got a lot of messages saying, is he talking about your Afrotech and Jay-Z in that song with Jay-Z had? So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Ownership rights of his masters and 85% of his royalty revenue.
That 85%.
The journey continues.
Got some ownership of that thing. This guy beats with the sneakers. Powered the future AI, quantum computing for smarter. Something serious. Yeah, this one on somebody here. This video you gotta check out Blavity, Social Proof, and if you wanna do some work with David Shands as well, near future. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the review for that video. Come back around, do another video, talking about the overall entertainment industry, which includes music, movies, sports, etc. So just entertainment business overall. That video is pretty good. It has some deep, some good information there as well, put together with all the different scenes and clips. The guests that they had on the show that worked in many different components of the business of the music industry and entertainment. And yeah, I like how you got information from each people in high executive positions in each companies, and how they collect the all the numbers and information and how they pay out to the artists and to the producers and the artists that produce the music are all together. So produce the lyrics and produce the beats and does the mixing, the mastering, and things like that as well. Collecting all the royalties and all the streaming from each platforms and all that. It's phenomenal. That was really good. Nice breakdown of the overall music business from typing in the music business. Financial Times got some great information. Phenomenal. And I'm gonna look to add some great links within this video here. I'm most likely add this link of this video in there in the description. And then I'm gonna see if I can find some good affiliate programs to add some links down in the description to earn some commissions and stuff like that. so we could really invest into the channel and grow and provide great content to the audience that we accumulate over time. But I definitely want y'all to go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and comment. You know, put the word out there, let people know what we got going on. And I'm Smooth Vaughn, the co-host of Man in the Field. With more content to come, and the founder of Smooth Services, where we offer the 4M's: Media, Market, Master, and Money. And we help businesses get attention, customers, employees, and investors for growth and scalability. Scale up, scale up. Smooth Vaughn signing out. We out. Go ahead and stop recording.